I'm Bob Harris, president of the Decorative Concrete Institute. Here are a couple of dustless grinders that we use on a frequent basis, the first of which is the Metabo dustless grinder. Now this grinder is a high-performance tool. It spins at a very high RPM, so you got to be careful, be very safe when working with this tool. A couple of observations. You'll notice that on the bottom we have what's called a segmented cup wheel. Now this is usually designed for very aggressive coarse grinding. Now typically we would use a tool like this to prepare for some type of an overlayment, whether it was a cement-based topping or an epoxy for that matter. So this is a great tool to use for preparing the concrete substrate for resurfacing. You'll notice that the shroud also has a vacuum attachment. Keep in mind, you've got to capture the airborne dust particulate, especially when you're working inside. Number one, it's harmful to breathe. Number two, it makes a mess, so go ahead and use the vacuum. The type of vacuum that you use is very critical as well. You can't use a standard shop vac because it'll clog up the filter. So typically we use a specially designed dust vac with a HEPA filter that separates the airborne dust. One last observation, you'll notice on this dust shroud, it has a little fold-up arm, and that's really for getting up tight against a wall, okay? And then when you get real close against the wall, you simply put it back down and you continue your dustless grinding. This is a really nice tool as well. We use this little one primarily on concrete countertops, backsplashes, baseboards, things of that nature. It's a much smaller version. This is variable speed. This is a 1-speed, where this has an adjustment to control how fast the RPM spins the disc here. You'll notice on this it also has a shroud and an attachment to capture the dust. But what's unique about this, it has a Velcro-backed plate that allows us to put the pads on here. Now you'll notice that the pads come in a variety of different grits. These are diamonds suspended in either metallic or resin material, suspends the diamonds, and it simply attaches to the grinder and off and running. Now on these pads, you'll see here we have a 50 grit. It goes up to a 200 grit, and then so on through the sequence all the way up to a 3000 grit if you choose to. A 3000 grit is going to really provide a smooth, shiny surface on the concrete substrate. A couple of observations when using these tools. Safety is very important. At a bare minimum, I'm going to wear gloves. These are high-performance tools. There's a lot of vibration, so protect your hands. At a bare minimum, proper eye protection is mandatory. Again, there is going to be some dust, despite the fact that we're calling it dustless. There will be some airborne dust particulate, and as I've mentioned, really important, don't overlook the importance of protecting your ears. Let's show you how these tools work. The Metabo dustless grinder is a great tool to use for light profiling of floors in preparation for an epoxy coating or maybe a cement-based overlay. We use the tool quite extensively on the perimeter of a wall, for example, where the larger grinding machines simply won't get. It's also wonderful for removing sealers and light mastics. Let's show you how it works. Remember, to get the most out of your tools, use them properly and, more importantly, use them safely. I'm Bob Harris.